Scale guys, Nexas here, and welcome back to Destiny 2. And in today's video, guys, we're here with more final shape freaking hype. It is raid day 2, so I'm super excited for that. But what we're looking at today is gonna be the new freaking exotic people have found, and it's gonna be the Khvostov 7GOX. Wait, oh, where's the O2? It's OX now? Okay, the OX. The Khvostov itself, though, the exotic version has been found. Now, I'm not going to go over exactly how you get this, because there is a massive kind of, I'd say, it's not even a quest line. It's a kind of massive kind of stuff you have to do. There's definitely guides, and I think Scarrow made a guide and everything as well. I'd look them up and whatnot, because it is super long. And it is nice to get the OG Khvostov exotic back and everything. It will be completely different out to what it used to be, okay? So in the original, I'd say in D1 when it was an exotic, it used to have, of course, different RPMs you could choose from. So it was like a low RPM, high RPM, whatever. It was part of the perks. Now it's completely different. This is legit a brand new gun. So Khvostov 7GOX, what it's going to have is the right choice. Every 7th bullet from this weapon deals additional damage and ricochets to nearby targets. It will also have the perk shoot to loot, which we all kind of know what it is, just shoot ammo when you pick it up in orbs. It will also have the trait as well to kind of blend into the right choice. Eyes Up Guardian. Collecting orbs of power strengthens the weapon's next several ricochet shots, providing more damage and more bounces between targets. So pick up an orb and you just overpower the gun. It's pretty self-explanatory. So yeah, the exotic stuff, you can kind of see it's completely different to its D1 counterpart. Is it going to be great? I've done a bit of tests around with it. I'm not going to lie. It's okay. It's a little bit mid, I'm not going to lie. But we're going to showcase exactly what it's like. So without further ado, let's go on some PvP with the Khvostov 7GOX. Alrighty, so we are going to, of course, be on Meltdown with our freaking Khvostov exotic gun. This is what it's going to look like and everything. It's pretty deep, neat looking and everything now. I mean, obviously the legendary. Ooh, shredded in. We'll get this guy. Get those ricochets in, boys. Obviously, the legendary was all crapped up and everything because it was found in the dirt. But this one is all neat, nice and neat. And you can see it can shred pretty well. 600 RPM. So again, it's going to be in like a decent archetype for an auto. We'll say autos at the moment. I don't know what's happened. They used to be insane, but now they're not exactly hitting as much as they used to. But I will still say that this has some pretty good potential. As I said, with the ricochet and everything, it could be great in team shotting scenarios. And, oh, he did. But team shotting scenarios, that's where I might be coming close. You'll definitely see. Oh, here's the ricochet that hit him, though. You've seen the little 19 that kind of appeared on the right. That is what the ricochet is going to be. So if you're all grouped up with everything, you might do like 19-20 damage to someone else. Again, it's not exactly a ton of damage for PvP, but I don't think you're gonna have much people going, oh my god, this exotic's absolutely broken, or oh my god, this exotic's absolutely insane. The ricochet, don't be wrong, it is pretty cool and everything, but it's only like 19 damage, which I mean, after a couple of shots you might get the extra 19, but it's still not even that much damage where I'm like, you have to try this out, because it's just not really going to do much work. In team shotting scenarios, if you're getting shot at 2 people, you're probably going to die before you even get like shots to the second guy. And oh, the freaking crouch peeking shots. Don't get me wrong, the exotic is pretty dope. Like, you'll hear it when we get the shots going. Okay, I'm going to actually keep quiet until we get the 7 shots, because I want to hear a proc. Oh my god, of course it's a super. Of course it's a super. Why not? When I want to listen to the noise, I freaking get chased down by a freaking super. And oh, the spawn. Oh no. Oh, there we go. You probably heard the noises too. Thanks for that spawn bungo. But you heard the freaking every time it hits the ricochet. It is really, really sick. I'm not gonna lie. That noise is so clean. It's sort of like Outbreak perfected. But yeah, I just think overall though, when it comes to this exotic, you're probably not gonna see many users. Like, get out of my face, buddy. You're probably not gonna see many people use this because one, it's kind of hard to get in terms of it takes time, and two, it's nothing too broken. And as I said, that range. The range on this is just so bad. It has 47 range, which I think is really low for 600 RPM anyway, and there's no way to really increase it with the gun. So at least with other 600s, it's like you can get randomly rolled, like an acrobatics round or something. This just has absolutely no range. So yeah, give me those ricochets though. You can see I hit a 19 or something somewhere. But yeah, it's just the no range on this definitely makes it struggle a lot to be competitive and everything. But I said, when you get the ricochets going, it can be pretty cool. I mean, you do an extra little 19. You see, I got an assist there without even shooting at him, because my teammate finished him off after I tickled his ass with a ricochet. That's where it could be pretty clutch. And oh, there's an orb. Gimme, gimme, gimme. All right, we got the Eyes Up Guardian going now. So this is basically the extra ricochet, kind of the more powered ricochet. It will stay basically indefinitely unless I die, because there's no timer or anything on it either. So it will do some decent damage. So we'll get this guy, and oh, there we go. I had Radiant going as well though, so yeah, that's why I was doing 36 in the head. But the ricochet will be a lot bigger and everything, so if you gotta get that going and they're all grouped up, you will bounce that thing around them and do more damage. But again, it's so situational, and I just don't think this exotic's anything like super fancy. It's a really cool concept, but the ricochet just doesn't do enough for me. I mean, maybe in PvP they did want it to be broken or anything like that, but it just doesn't do enough. I mean, even there, there's a guy beside him. I got thunder crashed. Why am I getting fisted all the time, huh? But yeah, there was a guy there when I was killing him. There was a guy beside him, and I didn't even really ricochet him or anything like that. Even if you do, I just feel like there's just better weapons in the game to kind of go in with. Even a vault shot or an incandescent weapon would just do a little bit more. I know this ricochets off without getting kills. And oh my god, we just absolutely shredded him. I know you can ricochet though without getting the actual kill, so it's nice for beefy sort of enemies, but for the most part, I just cannot say that it's going to be really worth it. Oh, look at all those kills. That's where the ricochet actually, it can't come in clutch because he got a bunch of kills and I was just ricocheting shots and I just got a bunch of assists, but got eyes up going again, and this is the extra ricochet damage, and you can see we have radiant going again. Every time I have this going, I have radiant. Oh, it's because I'm picking up orbs. I get radiant off orb pickups. Yep, that makes sense. Oh, what am I doing? Oh my god, how am I not dead? But yeah, I just think that overall this exotic, it's dope. I really do like it, but compared to what, oh my god, my ricochet was actually doing some work there, but compared to what the Khvostov used to be in D1, where you could just, so unique in terms of what it did. You can go from a high RPM to low RPM to like a freaking DMR. This is just kind of, it's completely different, but it's just kind of, I'd say mid. Mid is the best word to use it for, as I said. I don't think this is exotic where it's just anything too broken. Now, buddy, can you just leave me alone for a second? He actually went for me. Oh, God, I love that so much. But yeah, I just think overall, you're not going to see this used in trials or anything that often. I think that there's just way better weapons going in. I would honestly say the legendary freaking Khvostov is probably better. And we're going to shoot this guy's ass. Well, going in with legendary Khvostov would probably be a better idea. I think you get more work with that, with multi-kill clip and obviously the energy gains, than you would with this. I just think that this is like a weird ass sort of meme weapon. It feels kind of like I'm using the Cerberus, where it has like its effective areas, and other than that, it's just kind of like, it's a weird ass auto. We'll get this guy, and oh, that is game set and match. Get this guy at the end as well. Oh, there we go. Alrighty, so we're gonna do the PvE side of things, of course, with the little freaking Khvostov to good, and of course I'm gonna come up against exploding shanks. So like, I won't even get the ricochets going off against these because I won't even hit 7 shots before they all explode. Oh god, of course it's always the same. It's either cursed trolls and I'm dead. But yeah, the way this weapon works and everything, of course, is obviously with the ricochets, as you kind of seen in PvP and stuff. It is kind of nice PvE, not gonna lie. It's great for kind of ag clear potential. Because obviously you don't even need to get the kill to get the ricochets kind of going. So it's sort of like I'd say maybe kind of like Firefly proccing without actually having to get a kill, maybe? Somewhat kind of like that. But you can kind of see that PvE, of course. Yeah, it's so much easier. Of course, as well, I will be able to get orbs going a lot more, so you get to kind of the overpowered one a little bit more. But I still will say, in general, for the amount of effort this was, I don't think this is like an amazing exotic. Don't get me wrong, it's decent for ag clear and everything, but like, I mean, there is so many weapons can do juicy ag clear. Like, you got Sunshot, like exotic wise anyway, you got Sunshot, Risk Runner's great too. There's just so many different ways to make your like a gun actually ricochet, or what's called ag clear, that it's just kind of like, I don't know, it just does feel amazing. Like, you can kind of see when you have the powered up one, it does ricochet pretty well, so you can see you're getting like multi-frags and everything just like shooting normally. But one, this isn't going to be very synergistic, of course, with any sort of builds and stuff, because it is kinetic, so realistically you're not going to get any sort of builds going with it, like Strand or whatnot. And two, the ricochet is just, it's nice and all, but it just doesn't do enough damage. If it was something that absolutely tore through enemies, I'd be like, okay, that's pretty insane, all right, let's do that. But the fact that it doesn't do that much damage, it's just kind of mid for the amount of effort I put into this, and also how cool it used to be. Now it just kind of feels a little bit like a wet noodle. Don't get me wrong though, I do love the style of the weapon and everything, how it looks and stuff. So in higher end content too, some people might say it'll be a little bit better because the ricochets will come in a lot more handier. Obviously against these low tier abs, I'm probably one shot a little bit too much anyway. But I just think that generally speaking, I just don't think that this will be used by a lot of people. Maybe for like fun and everything, and like if you want to get ricochets kind of going, it can be fun. But for the most part, it's just, without like maybe a catalyst to give it like overflow or something so you can constantly spam the shots out, or something else instead of having to pick up an orb to get the eyes of Guardian going, I just cannot see people using this like that much. I think it's too average for an exotic that's meant to be like obviously super special or whatnot, because of it's turning up the new one. Like you can see, I'm getting a bunch of shots in there at the end there. That's where it can be handy. But as I said, there's just more util or more like user-friendly sort of weapons you could definitely pick up. As I said, like Sunshot is just insane. You got anything with incandescent is gonna be really nice for ad clear as well. I know all of them require a kill, and that's what I'm saying, like end game. Some people might go in with this. For the most part, I just don't see it happening. I mean, oh, it's just wanted my freaking baby back. I wanted the OG back. Just give me those RPM changes. I'll freaking use it any day of the week. And oh, we're just gonna shred his ass. It doesn't even have any like piercing. Maybe the Ricochet Pierce or something might be useful, but I just can't say you're gonna use this over other exotics that are currently in the game. Maybe it's top power crept, I don't know, but there is other exotics in the game that are just way more useful. I just can't in good faith tell you you're gonna use this that often. That's why because it's such a lengthy quest line, and I will say the quest line is like there's a little bit of bugs going around in terms of getting the motes of light and everything. And also it is so hard to tell which freaking one you have to kill or which boss you're gonna have to kill from the overthrow events. It might be worth waiting, honestly, for the frickin' to get the going. I mean, it's not a difficult quest line whatsoever. It's just time consuming. That's like the only difference. There's no like mad hard quest or anything to do. Just pure time consuming. They could have amped it up way more, and they just didn't do it. They didn't amp it up at all. They could have made this absolutely cracked with the ricochets, but I feel like they just held back a little bit. They probably didn't want it to be too crazy PvP, but that's made it tough for PvE, because even the ricochet around PvE isn't anything too amazing damage wise. But yeah, it's just one of these exotics where I'm just not inspired. I mean, maybe it's because we've gotten such cool ones like the Still Hunt and all those sorts of other exotics that have just been really, really dope, but this just does not like give me any. Oh my god, look, the amount of carnage there. But this doesn't really inspire me to any sort of excitement whatsoever. It just kind of feels bland. Honestly, the normal version, the legendary version, at least that gives you energy gains and whatnot. That might even be better to use than this. The ricochet's fun and everything, but the damage just isn't there, where I'd rather just get energy gains and multi-kill clip, which would probably do as much damage anyway. Alrighty, final boss time, of course, with the little ricocheter that could and everything. And there's where the ricochet looks pretty dope, as I said. Like, there is some times where it looks really sick when you can see the shot that's got around the whole thing, but yeah, it's just not really worth it. There's legit nothing else I can really say other than it's cool and everything, but a vault shot or a freaking incandescent roll might even do the same sort of effect. Oh, it could have been. It had so much potential. I was super excited for the ricochet to like maybe just absolutely wreck enemies. Maybe just like one tap like yellow bars and stuff. But the fact that even picking up an orb doesn't make that much of a difference. I can't do good faith say this is definitely worth getting really fast. I think honestly waiting for the freaking everything to be fixed and all the bugs and everything to go might be better off. I don't think this is that great. Well, that is it for me and the Khvostov 7GOX itself. As I said, this weapon, it is pretty dope. I do really like, of course, the aesthetics of it, like the every time you get a shot. It reminds me of Outbreak Prime or Outbreak Perfected. It reminds me of that when you get the headshot kills, but this is like every 7th bullet, you get it's really, really dope. But what I will say is that overall, I can't see you using this. I didn't really even use the shoot to loot. You can use shoot to loot to get the eyes up guardian going as well. If there's an orb Moz way, just shoot the orb and you get eyes up guardian going. And that's where it could be somewhat nice in PvP. Obviously, you get a kill like Reaper and then you grab your orb with the shoot to loot. But for the most part, it's just the ricochet doesn't really cut it too much. And one of the biggest issues in PvP was its range is ass. I mean, even against the legendary version has more range because that's barrel attachments. I mean, the range at 47 is just so low for an exotic, like, or for a 600 RPM. So you're not going to be hitting that max range. And then also the ricochet, it's nice PvP. Of course, you get a bunch of random kills because you might have tickled someone else and they died somewhere. I'd rather go in with the legendary. Honestly, I'd rather have multi-kill clip because then I'm guaranteed I know I'm going to do that extra damage. The ricochet is just kind of random a little bit. I know it's every 7 bullets, but it's random how he will hit and how much damage it will kind of do. I just can't say that this is going to be worth picking up. It's just, it's kind of mid. That's all I got to say with the Khvostov. It is kind of mid. And for the amount of effort, as I said, you put into the exotic mission, or, well, to get the exotic, you got to put a lot of effort into, like, obviously doing public and mystery events and stuff like that. So I just don't think it's worth instantly grinding out for. Casually getting it might be fine if you just want to grab, obviously, the assists and everything just by doing the missions. Or, of course, getting your most just by casually doing the overthrow. It might be better off doing that because I do not think this is anything you're missing out on. I think it's dope. And maybe there might be some scenarios where it might be worth in the raid. We don't know because the raid hasn't come out yet. But for the most part, I'm just telling you that it's pretty mid. Pretty mid for an exotic. I mean, this is legit one of these exotics where when you get it, you might try it out and have fun. But for the most part, it'll probably just sit in the vault or you'll just sit in collections. I don't think this is going to be used by much people. Dope ass concept, but it's super underpowered. Unless it gets a catalyst that absolutely revolutionizes it, or they buff the ricochet to actually do way more damage. I don't see much people using this. But regardless, if you liked the video, trust like, and you want to see more content, subscribe, have a fantastic day, and hopefully I'll see the next collective in the next one.